I want to quickly talk to you about direct deposit loans this year, okay? Especially loans that can really can get funded faster, so within a day or sometimes even 12 to 16 hours. So 12 hours all the way to 24 hours. So into this conversation, what I want to really talk to you about is that when you hear the term direct deposit loans, you're really talking about alternative loans with fast funding times, okay? So those loans are types of loans that give you quick access to cash that is actually deposited directly into your bank account. So you don't have to actually wait for 1 or 2 or 3 days. No, you get the cash in your bank account as fast as possible. And personal loans are actually a better alternative to direct deposit loans, offering lower rates and longer repayment terms. So you can get a repayment term of 7 years, 6 years, 7 years, okay? And you can get a larger loan amount, so you can get all the way to $100,000 if you go to lenders such as Lightstream or SoFi. So other alternatives to direct deposit loans include payday alternative loans, for instance, early payday apps. Okay, I will actually go into more detail so you have a clearer idea about what I'm speaking about. But I just want to give you a quick overview. Okay, you also have, when you think about direct deposit loans, you can actually categorize under that section salary advances as well, and also in some cases cash advances on credit cards. So some credit cards actually will give you a cash advance for 0% APR, like for with no penalties. Especially you have some credit unions. Otherwise, usually a lot of institutions, both credit unions and banks, they charge you like crazy high loans for crazy high when you actually take money out of your credit card. So, long story short, if you think about a direct deposit loan, think about a type of payday loan that allows you to receive funds directly into your bank account after approval. And lenders typically only need to verify the direct deposit of your paycheck for approval. Okay, but just be ready to pay a high percentage in terms of APR. By the way, so, what are the top alternatives here? If you think about direct deposit loans, what are the top five alternatives for you to consider this year? First of all, I want to talk to you about personal loans. Now, some personal loans can really can get funded fast too. Not all loans. It depends on where you apply. Some big banks or credit unions, they will fund you within 2 days, but some online lenders can actually fund you within 24 hours. Okay. In some cases, you are even able to get the cash within 6 hours. So if you think about personal loans, I want you to really consider, for instance, Upstart, One Main Financial, Upgrade, Best Egg, Avant, and Lending Point. So you can see that all those six lenders are primarily fintechs. They're primarily online lenders, okay? Because big banks, big traditional banks, they usually fund you within a few days. So if you want cash fast, you want a direct deposit loan, go through an online lender. Of course, if you get if you get a loan, if you apply for a loan at a big bank, chances are once you are approved, the deposit will be even faster, right? But they require you to have an account with them, right? Most likely they want you to have an account with them, and they just need to credit your account. In other words, once you are approved, they just need to really put the cash right away into your account. But the thing is that it's the time it takes to be approved that actually is longer, okay? But once you are approved, you get funded right away. But so, for instance, if you have Upstart, you can actually have 1,000 all the way to $50,000. If you go to a One Main Financial, you are looking at $1,500 all the way to 20 grand. If you go with Upgrade, you are looking at 1,000 all the way to $50,000. Best Egg is actually a pretty generous too. You have 2,000 all the way to $50,000. Avant actually will give you anywhere from 2 grand to $35,000. And finally, Lending Point actually is pretty good also. They will give you anywhere from $1,000 to $36,500. So if you think about direct deposit loans, the first the first is personal loans, but the second actually you might like it as well. You are looking at payday alternative loans. The thing is that payday loans are usually very expensive, but if you think about payday alternative loans, you can actually get a decent loan with not so high an APR. Okay, so if you don't quite qualify for standard personal loans, you may have better luck with a payday alternative loan. And this type of direct deposit loan still comes with triple digit APRs, but they are often less than what you would pay for a payday loan. Okay, you're not going to pay, let's say, a 1,000% APR, but you might probably pay a 100 to 300%. Just be aware of that. Okay, and so the best part is that repayment terms are typically measured in months, not weeks. So this removes the pressure. If you think about it, the pressure of paying off the loan by your next payday and gives you more time to work out your finances. So this is really good. And these products often don't require a minimum credit score and are approved based on your income and banking history, much like payday loans. Okay. And the cool things also is that funds are usually delivered to your bank account within one business day of approval. So this is kind of cool. That's what I love about payday alternative loans. Okay, now most lenders in this space, in this payday alternative loan space, they offer these types of loans that like they don't charge prepayment penalties. Okay, so usually you do not want to really pay on top of the high APR, pay like an extra fee, right? So the fact that they don't charge a prepayment penalty means what? It means you can pay your high rate balance off faster without an additional fee. And also, some of the payday alternative loans that you can think about, you have Up Loans, for instance, you have Personify, you have Rise, and you have Possible Finance. So if you think about Up Loans, you're looking at 500 all the way to $4,000. You have to repay the loan within 9 to 18 months. Personify, you have 500 all the way to $15,000, and you have to repay the loan within 12 to 48 months. You have Rise, $3,000 to $5,000, and you have to pay the loan between 4 and 36 months. Usually the APR is triple digits. I just want to insist on that. So, it's not rare to actually see APRs as high as 300%. 300%. So this is something to consider if you want to go with those alternative lenders. Another direct deposit loan that I want you to really think about is actually is in the category of early payday apps and salary advances. So salary advances are types of loans that directly deposit part of your paycheck into your account. Okay. And the cool thing is that there are cases where even if you don't have a bank account, they will deposit the loan directly onto your debit card, okay, on your prepaid card. So salary advances typically apply to direct deposited checks, and you might find them at banks and credit unions, okay. But to actually get a salary advance, you have to really have a relationship with that institution for a while. In other words, they have to see that you have been getting direct deposit into your account for a while, and that you have a stable job. Okay, not a part-time job, not a contract job, not a let's say a seasonal job. It has to be a full-time job. So it's actually also common for employers to offer those types of salary advances to employees. So you can get a salary advance at your bank or credit union or even employer. Okay. Now interest rates on salary advances are they are often variable, and you pay interest on the amount you use. Okay. An employer might not charge interest or fees. So if you only need to borrow a small amount, there are also a number of early payday apps you can use. Okay. And these apps allow you to have a portion of your paycheck directly deposited before your next period, and you pay it back when you actually get your paycheck. Okay. So this is kind of cool. Now, some apps even allow you to borrow up to $750 in between paychecks. nearly three times more than the average payday lender allows in some states, but you may be subject to cash delivery or subscription fees. So just be aware of that. So in terms of the payday advance apps, you have Earning maximum 750. You have Brigit. Brigit gives you 250, and you also have Dave. Dave will give you somewhere from 100 to $500. Another possibility for direct deposit loans actually is a cash advance on your credit card. Now, when it comes to cash advances on credit cards, you have to really, first of all, you want to really look at the credit cards that you have, and you want to look also at how much the lender, the provider, the credit card provider is charging on cash advances. Some credit unions do not charge at all. They do not charge at all when it comes to cash advances. In other words, you get the cash, you pay it back, but basically they don't charge you like triple digits APR. So be very careful. Don't trust. Don't really go ahead and withdraw money from your credit card right away without checking those interest rates first, because those interest rates are there to be to discourage people from withdrawing money from their credit cards. Okay, so they're really high. You may be able to take a cash advance from the available balance on one of your credit cards. Now, just make sure that you speak. Even the thing is, you can even speak to the bank beforehand, the bank or credit union, to see if there is a possibility for you to get a lower APR, because the APR, like I said, the APR is definitely going to be very high. Okay, and you want to check the fine print on your credit card disclosures to find out how much the APR will be or what the conditions are if you actually if you withdraw cash from your credit card. Okay, and so you have to also understand that when it comes to when you get a cash advance on your credit card, interest starts accruing immediately. So they don't wait for 28 days for like they don't give you a grace period of 28 days. Like you don't have what you usually have with the purchase, with the regular purchase. Okay, so conditions are stricter. Conditions are much stringent, like much stricter with a cash advance on your credit card. So while this may be an easy way to get some extra cash, it could also knock your credit scores if you don't pay the balance off before your next billing cycle. And your credit utilization rate measures how much of your available credit you are using. And if it really exceeds 30%, it may impact your credit score also. So just be aware of that. If you are looking for a direct deposit loan this year, you can also think about nonprofit, community, or government assistance programs. Okay, so the thing is that it's not really automatic. Every state, every location is different. So double check with your area to see what's available there, or you can just let me know in the comment section, and I'll let you know what's available in your area. I mean, you may be able to get help for the bare essentials like food and utilities through programs offered by local nonprofits or community and local governments. Okay, and these programs are designed to provide assistance to people in dire financial situations, such as a sudden loss of income due to job loss or other emergency situations. So just be aware of that. So this is those are the five alternatives to direct deposit loans you can really consider this year. And the maximum, again, the maximum is $50,000. $50,000, that's what you can get. So let me give you a few extras before I close to this conversation here. There are pros and cons when it comes to direct deposit loans and alternatives. Okay, so when you think about direct deposit loans, you may be approved and receive funds the same day you apply. Approval doesn't usually require a credit check, and funds are deposited directly to your bank account. For payday alternative loans, you have and I'm still talking to you about the pros, by the way. For payday alternative loans, APR is 2 to 3 times lower than payday loans, and you have longer repayment terms. For early payday apps, you may not have to pay any fees for regular deposits. but you have access to more cash between paychecks. For a credit card cash advance, this may be already available on existing credit cards, and it doesn't require applying for a new credit. Okay, so on the flip side, when you think about direct deposit loans, you have highest APRs on any loan type. You must repay the entire balance plus fees by your next paycheck, and this can lead to a costly debt rollovers that increase your debt load. For payday alternative loans, you have higher APRs than personal loans, shorter terms than personal loans. For early payday apps, the fees may apply to instant cash needs, and apps may charge monthly subscription fees. So something to really think about. And also, I, one thing you need to understand is that for credit card cash advances, the higher APRs usually apply to those advances, and this may drop your credit score if the balance is not paid off fast. So if you think about direct deposit loans, there is always the possibility of considering a personal loan. Instead of going to a direct deposit loan, just go to just apply for a personal loan. So if you're still trying to choose between a payday loan or a personal loan, it's important to have a clear idea about the features that will that will help you make a faster decision. So what I've done is that I have actually put side by side the features that every loan category actually provides. So I'm showing this to you on the screen so you can see what kind of decision making process you have to go through. So if you look at the loan feature for direct deposit loan, direct deposit payday loan, you are paying up to around 650%. For a bad credit personal loan, up to 35.99%. That's actually the regulatory maximum. The loan amount minimum $250 for the standard minimum on a direct deposit payday loan. For a bad credit personal loan, $1,000 at most lenders. For the loan maximum offer, you are looking at up to $500 if you have a direct deposit payday loan. But if you have a bad credit personal loan, maximum is $100,000. And you can get those at SoFi, at Lightstream, or even Wells Fargo. If you have the right relationship, but you also have the right financial profile. And the loan term actually is on your next payday or 2 weeks for direct deposit payday loan. But for bad credit personal loans, you can actually have a maximum repayment window of 7 years. So the time of funding is the same for those two. Like you can get funded within 24 hours, 24 to 48 hours. That's actually the standard, okay? So if you need money quickly, direct deposit loans may seem convenient. However, just remember that those loans often have high interest rates and short repayment terms on unaffordable debts, okay? So fortunately, there are better alternatives such as personal loans with lower rates and longer repayment terms to actually help you out with, let's say, a temporary financial problem, if you will. So in conclusion to this conversation, I spoke to you about direct deposit loans. I gave you the overview, the top alternatives, the extras, and now the conclusion. Thank you so much. God bless you. I will see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.